Hey, so me and some people were talking about, you know, COVID, vaccines, and everything. And somebody said, you know, I'm surprised you just blindly follow what authority tells you. You seem like the kind of person who would rebel against authority. That's true. I do seem that way, right? Let's look into that a little bit further. First of all, I'm kind of offended by the blindly part. Like, I don't put any thought into it, right? Second, though, rebelling against what authority tells you simply because authority tells you is childish behavior. Sorry, not sorry. It is. Like kids, teenagers, you know, they rebel against their parents, no matter how much sense it makes. You can't tell me how to live my life, you know. They got to get out there and make all their mistakes for themselves. And the reason is, you know, because they're struggling to find their own identity and they're immature. That's the thing. When you're kids, that's to be expected. And that's what you sound like when authority tells you stuff. I don't care how much sense it makes. You can't tell me how to live my life. All right. So yeah, rebelling against it just because authority tells you. Yeah, sure, you shouldn't just blindly follow whatever they tell you, but rebelling against everything they tell you is just every bit as bad. Third, though, I am not following what authority tells me. I'm following the advice of the scientific community. Okay? There's a big difference. They're the experts. Right? They're the experts. And the fact that our current government also often follows the advice of the experts is a good thing. Not something to bitch about. And because authority sometimes follows what the experts say, doesn't mean the experts are saying what authority wants them to say. You know what I mean? And another thing, people say you should do your own research. Come to the conclusions yourself. That's good. It's good to be informed, but you can't. And the reason is you don't have the facilities or the background to do the kind of research that's necessary. You know, no amount of Googling and YouTube and Wikipedia is going to give you the credentials that's going to make you qualified to be an expert. I mean, do you think these people became experts because they Googled all this stuff? No. You know how science works? Do you understand the scientific method? You know what I mean? And all this stuff is peer reviewed by other experts in the field before it's ever released. You know, you don't have that kind of resources to do this. I mean, unless you're a virologist or something like that, you know what I mean? And so it's the experts I'm listening to. And you listen to experts too all the time. What about, like, I don't know, like you wake up in the morning, you start pissing blood, you know what I mean? You're like, this is bad. I need to go to the doctor. Your buddy's like, no, I watched some videos on YouTube about that. I'll get you all fixed up. I did my research. No. No, you want to go to a doctor. Why? Because they're an expert. That's what they do. They have like 10 years of college and all this work in the field that got them to the part where they're actually an expert. That's why you want to go to them. They probably look at it and tell you what the problem is automatically. And if not, scientific method, they know what tests to run to find out. Okay? So that's the thing. I'm listening to the advice of the experts. Not just winging it, you know? And I'm not following what authority tells me. Okay? In fact, it wasn't too long ago that authority was telling you the opposite of what the experts were saying, and I was still following the experts. Okay? Now, is that to say that science is never wrong, you know what I mean? No, of course not. But it's always advancing, is the thing. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet they're right a whole hell of a lot more than your buddy with the degree from InfoWars. Okay? And that's another thing, they're advancing all the time. We're in the 21st century. The scientific, medical, and technological advances that we've made are astounding. I grew up in the 80s, right? And the stuff that is normal, everyday stuff was science fiction in the 80s, okay? Science fiction. We take stuff for granted that just didn't exist except on Star Trek and stuff like that, right? So yeah, we're advancing because of scientific and medical advancement. And so yeah, I'm going to keep following the experts. You can call me a tool or whatever if you want, but the smart people will follow the people who know what they're talking about.